Globalized and Anti-Globalized Culture by Eleanor, Sophie, Ananya Sharma, and Michelle Chang. Globalization is the growing interaction and interdependence of the world's economies, cultures, and governments. It has enhanced the flows of information and promoted greater awareness and understanding over time. Thanks to advancements in transportation and technology, globalization has accelerated over the 20th to 21st centuries. The effects of globalization have brought about increased trade among nations. Additionally, many companies like Facebook, Adobe, and Microsoft use this interconnectedness to promote their products and increase their sales. It has also resulted in an increased standard of living for millions of people as water, electricity, technology, and communication become more accessible. However, it can be flawed sometimes, with remote villages receiving cell phones before access to clean water.
Consumerism, an economic idea that promotes the purchasing of goods or services, is a key component of most well-developed capitalist societies. Examples of the effects of consumerism are shopping malls and developments in advertising. It originated from the Industrial Revolution when societies shifted away from agricultural jobs and towards manufacturing and factories in the cities. Consumer culture opened an employment market where workers would work for wages to purchase consumer goods. Rapid advancements in machinery from the Industrial Revolution allowed for the mass production of products, a key component of consumerism. It was also supported by the middle class as companies began to create products targeting this group of society. Consumerism is beneficial for the economy and stimulates economic growth because of the constant flow of money. The globalization that occurred in the 20th century spread this ideal as well. Countries adopted this economic model when they saw the success of consumerist countries like the United States. Since consumerism relies heavily on advertisements, it also creates employment opportunities in marketing. Not only that, but consumer culture boosts innovation through competition. Also, consumerism allows for a large variety of goods and services through international trade. Buyers are provided with a wide selection of products to choose from. Even though consumerism has many benefits, there are downsides to consumer-based culture as well. In general, consumerism causes pollution from factories because the machinery relies heavily on fossil fuels. Material objects were also seen as a mark of social status. The more luxury brand items someone bought, the more respect they got from society. As a result, some people overspent and fell into debt while trying to gain the validation of others. Also, materialism, the tendency to consider material belongings more important than values, is heavily associated with consumerism.
E-commerce is the selling of services, information, and goods over the internet. It also relates to the transfer of money and data to execute these transactions. Although this term is usually used to describe the sale of physical products online, e-commerce refers to any type of commercial transaction online. E-commerce originally described the exchange of business documents, like invoices, between suppliers and their customers. Thanks to globalization, over the past 50 years, the e-commerce industry has grown in popularity. Companies like Amazon and eBay created a shift in the retail market by proving that a business could survive solely online. A few of the advantages of e-commerce are that consumers can shop whenever they want. Purchasing and selling is much faster. The consumer can find almost any product they want. There are new jobs in advertising and marketing. It is cheaper for everyone. Businesses can meet demands easier. There is a larger reach, and people are able to get product from all over the world. While we see these many benefits to e-commerce, there are also some disadvantages, like small businesses shutting down, which employ around 50% of American citizens, not knowing the quality of the product until it arrives, increased pollution from shipping, and credit card theft and personal information being stolen.
Social media. Social media refers to the digitally mediated web of technology, services, and information shared between individuals around the world. The increase of these sites caused social media to flourish in the early 2000s. Examples of social media's exponential growth are apps like Facebook and Instagram. During the 20th century, it was mostly used for advertising, spreading the idea of industries, and promoting the products of businesses. However, in the 21st century, users began to participate as well. This can be seen in apps like TikTok and Instagram, where users can post pictures and videos of themselves. Social media has its advantages because these user-central applications allow users to participate in the share of information. People can post pictures and videos, documenting events in their lives online. Social media can also be used to express oneself, whether it be through art, music, fashion, and more. It is an outlet for creativity and can inspire others to try new things and branch out. Additionally, nonprofits and other organizations can use social media to reach a larger audience. Users can repost information on the website about the issues in the world and spread knowledge about recent events. This is beneficial since it creates greater social awareness among the users who follow them. Although social media can be extremely helpful, it also has negative effects. For example, it can lead to high levels of screen time and increased device usage. It also creates toxicity and is a brewing ground for conflict between users. Cancel culture, a form of ostracism when someone is pushed out of social circles, is popular on social media. Social media can take a toll on mental health and be very draining for its users. Not only that, but the constant pressure of perfection online can create unrealistic standards for oneself and others.
Next up is locally developed social media. Locally developed social media targets users who are geographically close to each other and functions the same way that normal social media does. The pros of locally made social media are that the user has a more engaged audience. Also, a local business is more likely to gain customers, since its online community will be made up of those whose locations are actually close to the store. It is also faster to build a brand from scratch, and it is generally cheaper. In comparison to globalized social media, it is much easier to gain followers who are genuinely interested in the content a user posts. Advertisement is generally easier to manage as well. However, locally developed social media can result in low ratings and negative feedback in a local area, making it difficult for a business to gain popularity if its reputation is not very good. A lot of time is spent on social media campaigns. Whether it is local or globalized, media apps have been embraced by the majority of society since it is an outlet for self-expression and convenient for networking. Anti-IMF. The IMF, or International Monetary Fund, is an agency that supports global monetary cooperation by stabilizing currency exchange rates, facilitating online trades, and securing financial stability for its members. It was created by the United Nations in the 20th century to prevent economic recession while reducing the frequency of balance of payments deficits. The organization provides financial support for payment difficulties and increases trade opportunities by giving members the economic policies of other member countries. Although the organization is meant to strengthen the economic relationship between countries and stabilize the economy of countries that are struggling, some argue that the IMF has more negative effects than positive ones. Critics of the IMF argue that the loan conditions are faulty and not specific enough. They believe that the loans can be abused because some countries will take out large loans knowing that the IMF will bail them out. Additionally, the IMF is known to consistently supply financial stability to countries with corrupted governments, like military dictatorships. While the IMF is heavily criticized by some people, it is believed that the organization ultimately benefits society by preventing global economic recession.